apresento o senhor André Tchernobilsky, CEO da ZEG Ambiental, para a sua apresentação.
Hi, I'm André Tchernobilsky. I'm the founder and CEO of ZEG Environmental. ZEG stands for Zero Emissions Generation, and since our foundation, our purpose was always to implement technology and innovation in order to solve a very important issue in Brazil, mostly. We do have a kind of a sanitation crisis, and we implemented a national law for waste management in 2010, and we are now in 2021, and very few achievements were accomplished. So ZEG was created in 2012, and I will try to show you how we believe we can implement and solve the problem not only in Brazil now, but we are being requested to solve the waste problems around the globe, actually. So I'm very happy to be here, and I enjoy your event. So this is the figures of Brazil waste management. Okay, the waste itself increased by 25% its generation in the last 20 years. We are generating every year 80 million tons of waste per year. In Brazil, we have over 3,000 dump sites. So as you can see, if we have 5,700 municipalities, we are speaking that more than 50% of all the municipalities are dumping all the waste on the land, on the rivers, are burning waste. So it's a very critical situation. That's why we are in a urge to implement new technologies and to take advantage of this forum of energy recovery. From these 5,700 municipalities, 96% of all those municipalities have less than 100,000 inhabitants. That means that we cannot just bring technologies to Brazil from developed countries, because we will never get technical scalability, neither economical feasibility. So today, as we were 10 years ago, we are 1 century late in terms of waste management in Brazil. Just to mention that 10% of the waste in Brazil is not even collected, and we have 50% of dump sites. So this is more or less the figures that we have today, and it's actually the same as we had 10 years ago. What if we extrapolate this to the world? So I found this chart in the internet, which shows the waste generation per day, per ton by day, in each region of urbanized regions. Okay, so we are speaking that only the urbanized regions in the world, we are generating roughly around a bit more than 1.5 million tons of waste per day. What is the percentage of those cities that have less than 100,000 inhabitants or 3,000 inhabitants? So we will have a lot of opportunities to implement what we believe should be implementing in order to make circular economy, sustainable projects, and so on and so forth. So what ZEG believes that what we believe should be the engine of this circular economy and sustainable projects. We developed since 8 years ago a reactor. It's a pyroclassification reactor. We call it flash box. And as you will see, this flash box is very flexible. It's plug and play. In 10 days after you drop the container, it's a standard 40 feet container. Once you drop it on the floor, 10 days after you plug everything, and you are able to start converting waste into fuel, renewable fuel gas, synthetic gas. So this technology was implemented and created with a French scientist and myself. This French scientist was the head of engineering of the French aerospace agency, and I am coming from automotive sector. I spent 20 years in the automotive sector, always in project management, innovation, engineering. And my last 6 years were based in Luxembourg, where Delphi, the company that I was working for, has a technical center, and where we were creating innovation for the thermal division there. So what is a flash box? Flash box is not incineration. We do not burn the residues. We do not let the residues get in touch with the flames. We create a reductive atmosphere, sealed, so we do not have air or excess of oxygen. And we take this sealed chamber, heated in a very high temperature, and every piece of waste that touches this very hot surface, we have a kind of spontaneous devolatilization of the matter. So we instantly transform the solid waste into a gas fuel. So we keep the reactor above 1,000 Celsius degrees. This temperature allows us to reach above the carbon boundary limit temperature. The carbon not usually, but by chemistry, it volatilizes above 850 Celsius degrees. So we always keep the temperature above 1,000 Celsius degrees, which is pretty much similar to a magma temperature from volcans. And we make sure that with this temperature, we are able to generate instantly a very hot gas. And this hot gas is directly injected into a energy generation matrix. Which kind of process, which kind of waste we can process? Every kind that has volatile carbon. So every biomass, polymers, plastics, rubbers, including hospitaller waste, dangerous waste, everything that can be volatilized. So as I mentioned already, we have a kind of evolution of the pyrolysis system. We will always have green bonds and carbon neutral projects. We will always be able to collect carbon credits. We are a plug and play solution. It can be mobile. You can put on a truck, and you can transfer this container around certain landfills or dump sites or whatever. We do not generate any kind of dioxins, furans, toxic gases, because we do not have oxygen inside our container. We block the entrance of the air. And a good thing for those projects is that a very low civil work is required in each project. So the CapEx is relatively low. So our business model, if we want to implement circular economy, if we want to support the UN social development goals, sustainable development goals that UN is promoting in every country on the globe, we believe that we should implement our business model, which is the Eco Park 4D. What is the 4D standing for? Is the first D is the decarbonization. So every project, we make sure that we will get carbon credits or green bonds, and for sure we are supporting the climate change. If you know, more than 10% of all the greenhouse gases generated around the globe are coming from waste management sector. Decentralization, the second D. We believe that once we are able to decentralize the plants, I mean by that, if we can implement smaller modules, smaller plants treating waste, we are able much better to develop the regionally. So the small cities, the medium cities, the cities below 300,000 inhabitants, for example, we are able to generate jobs, we are able to generate tax revenue to the municipality, to the communities. So it's a very important matter for us. Digitalization. We are already in the fourth industrial revolution. So we apply automation in every single plant that we implement in order to increase the operational availability. So as much as automated we will have our plants, we are able not only to improve the efficiency of the operations of our plants, but we are also able to monitor from headquarters all the plants we will be implementing around the globe. And we are also able to take advantage of all the plants connected in order to teach each one of the plant with the best practice we will be finding during this monitoring system. And the last D is what we call the democratization of resources. We believe that once the three first Ds are accomplished, we allow the municipalities to invest the money they avoided spending on the waste management field to invest in the basic and fundamental needs of the society, which in our opinion are safety, health, education, sanitation, so on and so forth. So our process flow is very simple. We receive at our eco park the waste, we sort, we recycle, we sell the recycles, we convert the waste into RDF. The RDF goes to our waste to energy plant, and we generate renewable energy. The renewable energy means not only power, but thermal energy as well. We can generate hot water, hot air, cold water, cold air. We can make it. We can make a solution as per our customer requirement. So this is an example of 80,000 inhabitants. This is a project that we just kicked off. They are already starting with the civil works to get the plant. But this project itself will generate in carbon credits the equivalent of planting almost 5 million trees. So this is a very important number, because in this way, as the carbon credit market is increasing, we will always have some alternative revenue, and this is for sure it's going to support the economical results and the internal results and returns to the investors. We will avoid of landfilling more than 90% of the waste. We will always generate a bit of ashes, inert ashes, not lixiviate, but we will always generate a kind of ashes and inert material. And this inert material and ashes can be sent to cemetery market or can be landfill. And in this plant as well, we will be recycling more than 80,000 tons, 80,000 tons per year, of recyclable material. Where are ZEG now? Where are we? Where is ZEG now? Today we have 8 projects under development in Brazil. One is already commissioned. One will be commissioned from September 2001. The first 2 projects are located in Minas Gerais, Brazil. We have just kicked off another eco park in São Paulo State. The 80,000 inhabitants eco park that I just mentioned, and we have other 5 under financial structuring. This financial structuring will be requiring from us around $60 million, roughly. We are as well developing a sustainable city in Tuscany with a waste management company. We were invited to develop the engineering part and the implementation part, the OEM part of the waste, all the waste management and sanitation of this smart city, of this sustainable city. We were recently invited by USAID as well, and USAID invited us because in Somalia right now they have a very strong crisis. It's very dry and hot. We will be starting in Burao, the first eco park, and as it is very hot and dry, the dump sites are getting self-burned. So it is creating a massive smoke, very toxic and dense smoke. So the situation there is very bad. Here is the pictures that I took myself. I went to Somalia to follow this humanitarian project. And we do not have a specific land to dump the waste. The waste is dumped all over the places, and because it's very hot and dry, they are burning the dump sites, and it's creating a very critical situation. People are getting sick. There are a lot of people living around those dump sites. So it's a very bad humanitarian situation over there. And ZEG took the motivation and the courage, actually, to go to Somalia and to start helping these humanitarian entities and funds in order to implement waste to energy and projects. Not only waste to energy, we will also implement our eco park. We will recover material. We will implement processes in order to convert plastics into ecological resins. From recyclables back to raw material recycling. So this is what we are more or less doing. You can reach me at ZEG at any time, and I'm very happy to present this important solution that we believe can not only solve the Brazilian sanitation crisis, but other regions as well, in a very small scale, in a very small footprint, with low capex. You can modulate as per the requirements, as per the needs. We can start with one module, we can add up several modules afterwards, or we can just decentralize what we need. Anyhow, everything is going to be monitored and controlled from our technical center. Thank you, and I wait for questions.